Good morning. It's time to replant. Actually, it was time to replant my radishes probably a week and a half ago. And it's been crazy stressful around here. So we have run behind again. However, it's not too late. I'm going to simply, my package says, I'm growing these little guys. Hopefully that comes at the, yeah. And these are just little radishes, and it says a ½ inch deep. So that's what I'm going to do, make them a ½ inch deep. I'm going to make a little groove here. And I tend to put mine a smidge farther apart, and then I'll harvest them out. Go. My goal was to try and have a continuous stream of radishes, even if it was only 1 or 2 a day for my husband, because he really does love radishes. And to be honest, the ones that they have in the grocery store here are a little pricey and often not that wonderful. So I'm going to stick one over here because I know that it'll be out way before that carrot's in the way. And then more over here. I started radishes the other day, I want to say about a week or so ago, in my other trays. And they have come up nicely. I'll show you those in a couple minutes here. Get these seeds in first. I've been promising myself this for a couple of weeks. It doesn't take that long, but I'd get out here and I'd realize I left the seeds, and then I couldn't find the seeds this morning. It took me a while to figure out where I'd put them because I've been mashing things around in the house because we've been doing other garden planting, so in the process things got sort of mixed around. But I finally found them. I knew they were there, it was just a matter of finding them. And there we go. Get these guys all tucked in nicely and tamp them down. And then I'm going to, let's see. As soon as it gets a little bit more consistently warm in here, I think these carrots will probably take off. You can see they have their true leaves now. I actually did have one. Came up just the other day, tiny. Doesn't have true leaves yet. But I put another radish over here. Might as well take advantage of the space. And maybe just 1 or 2 over here too. Because I won't say you can't have too many radishes, because I suppose you could, but see if I can get those to grow too. Go traipse off to go get some water here. Currently our water in the greenhouse is stored in 2, these were rain barrels that we bought. They had a special deal. I don't even remember how we found out about it, but they were $40 a barrel if we went up to a specific garden center up in Williams. And actually it turns out we knew the guy who owned the garden center, so we didn't mind spending the money, and it was a great way to get them. At the time, barrels were very hard to get here, and most of the ones that were available were really low quality. And these are actually designed to be rain barrels, so they have the easy screw up top and all that sort of stuff. And this water in here is all rainwater. And we pump it in here using a little portable RV pump. And then I just simply, right now, scoop enough out. We had planned to put hoses and all kinds of things on these things, and discovered that the valves at the bottom of these, when you turned them on, it took about a week and a half to stop leaking. And even though it was leaking at a really low rate, like, you know, a drop or two an hour, that's still water where we live. You just don't leave things drip. I guess we lived in California before we moved here, and personally, you didn't leave things drip there either, because the price of water was a bit high. But they do have the spigot at the bottom, so technically it should work really well, but honestly it doesn't. It leaks. So we have to come up with another solution. So I have a new watering can that I got for Christmas that I'm very excited about. But for now I'm just going to use a cup. Because the whole point was water. And it just means I don't pour directly where the seeds are. I pour kind of next to where the seeds are, so I don't wash the seeds out. And then I sort of slosh where the seeds are. And then I just want to make sure my soil here is fairly damp to start with. But I'm going to be kind of careful to try not to wash anybody out. I had a batch in one of the trays that I accidentally sort of washed out a little bit the other day. Fortunately, I happened to spot one of the seeds was laying on top of the soil sprouting, so I quickly tucked some more dirt on top of him. Now this is our wicking bed, so I do top water when I'm starting seeds, but the rest of the time, the vast majority of the water source is actually, I have to do is I have to move this so that I can see when it starts to leak out the bottom. So I ordered this, I think, about 4 days ago. It's good for about a week, unless it gets really hot, and then I may need to water it more often. But still, not having to order anything for about a week around here is awesome. And what this is doing is this is just filling up the reservoir in the bottom of this planter. Up there it is. Now it's coming out. You can see it down there leaking a little bit. And that's it. The other day I started a bunch of radishes in here, and you can see they've done pretty well so far. They're all up, and in both of these trays. So yeah, and I picked another batch of spinach last night. We had another lovely spinach salad, which is why the spinach is looking a little thinned out. But I start by picking off the leaves. I planted these a little closer to the edge than I usually would, which means at some point when I'm trying to put the lids on, it gets in the way. You know, the leaves will droop over the edges. So last night I went through and I pulled all those nice fat leaves that were sticking over the edge, plus any in the middle that were getting particularly large, and they became a lovely spinach salad. So yeah, we're happy. That's our second spinach salad of the winter, and gosh, I'd have to actually do the math to figure out how many radishes my husband has eaten out of here. And is it really 100% cost effective? Probably not. But I tell you what, we've really enjoyed it. And sometimes that's really important. Last year we didn't heat quite as much. We've also had colder weather this year than last year. We're hoping to have things better situated. This is a learning experience, and the only way you figure it out is by experimenting. So, yep, and my battery's going to die. It doesn't like the cold. So I'll show you a picture of Jack, who is obviously working extremely hard, holding down the floor over there. There he is, looking cute. and the battery's pretty much dead. So we're over.